Welcome back to my series. So I am just going to drop all these movies on you guys because if you're not already watching African movies, you totally should be. All right, so listen. West African movies, South African movies are the ones I generally watch, but I've seen some that's even from East Africa that like kind of take your breath away, and you could tell they were kind of produced in like London. So African movies, I feel like they should be a genre. They should just be a genre. Okay, so this one that I'm going to tell you about is the most popular. I don't think there's very many people who don't love this movie, but I don't know if everyone's seen it. Okay, so it's called Chief Daddy. Chief Daddy. Okay, so that tells you a lot, right? That he was the man. So this movie starts off in his home with his house help, and he is sent for his children, all of his children, over. And as they're coming over, Chief Daddy passes away. And the house help, it's their job to let everybody know. And he does have a live-in wife. But somehow this man has about 13 children with at least 6 different women because he's a chief, okay? He can do what he wants, all right? He's very, very well off. And so it's just so interesting to watch all of these women come over. And so this is why they all really have to come together. And he has his lawyer who is there to kind of make sure everybody gets along long enough to get through the funeral and the will reading. And they have the first wife. The first wife is naturally not even the first wife, but she's the main wife because she has the son. So that gives her big status, okay? But she's actually the second wife. The first wife died, and they have 2 adult daughters from the first wife. And they are fashion designers, okay? So they look good all the way through the movie. Actually, everybody looks amazing all the way through this movie. So there's the first wife and her son, and then the 2 oldest daughters. And then now we're starting to get into like some miscellaneous women here. There's one woman with all the curves in the world and this little teeny tiny waist. Now she has a child by Chief Daddy as well, long-term mistress. And she has a very smart daughter with Chief Daddy as well. And there's just so much trouble. There's a sister who comes in to play, and of course your sister has been a part of your life longer than all of these women, so she doesn't care how everybody feels about anything. She's there in her brother's interest. So this movie becomes a lot of like kind of fighting and flossing because everybody is dressed to the nines and have their own wonderful, exciting life. And there's one woman you're not even sure, like, is she a mistress? Is she a daughter? Like, who is she? And it turns out through the storyline that she is kind of an adopted daughter. Like, she used to live in one of his orphanages, and he really took a liking to her, and he definitely put some money and time into her, and now she is a party girl, okay? She is a woman about town, on the scene. She can make it happen, and she counts in this thing. She was called to come in as one of the people that needed to be there for the reading of the will. Okay, now as if it's not thick enough, I really get my lips say the words, as if it's not thick enough, we have one more son that comes out of nowhere. I don't know who his mom is. His mom never comes, but he's a soccer player from overseas, and he comes in and it messes everything up because remember, we have wife number 1 who has a son, and she's supposed to be in first position, but now we have a second son who's older, and it gets sticky. It gets sticky, but it all comes together because in true African movie fashion, the family as a whole has to come together. So you have to see Chief Daddy. It's a giant party of a movie full of drama and chaos and music and fashion. It's one of my favorites. So Chief Daddy, check it out.